the mountains and help people.
It is bad.
Where is our federal government? Why are they out of money?
It is bad there, but my question is about the misinformation, particularly the notion that they are moving money to migrants, you say undocumented migrants, which FEMA says flatly is not true. And if people are not getting correct information, then they can't go for assistance as they have been asked for. I just want to quickly play with Senator Tom Tillis.
Let me just say for 1 second.
Go ahead.
You have migrants being housed in luxury hotels in New York City. We have paid so much money from our tax dollars into the crisis that didn't need to happen. We could redirect money to help people immediately on the ground in North Carolina or in Florida, where we're probably going to have a situation coming up in the next several days.
That's a separate tranche of money. That's a separate tranche of money. I want you to listen to.
I want you to. This migrant crisis hasn't been a disaster for every American. It is a big problem,
but that has nothing to do with the people in your home state right now.
Several months later.
With more on this, this just happening, these firings. What more can you share?
Hey, Marty. Yeah, just in the last hour, News Nation confirmed the Department of Homeland Security fired 4 employees, including the chief financial officer of FEMA for payments made to New York luxury hotels that housed migrants. We want to show you some of the statement that was obtained by News Nation. This is from the Department of Homeland Security, and it says in part, quote, effective immediately, FEMA is terminating the employment of 4 individuals for circumventing leadership to unilaterally make egregious payments for luxury New York City hotels for migrants, and adding, quote, DHS will not sit idly and allow deep state activists to undermine the will and safety of the American people. This comes as President Donald Trump has really been critical of FEMA, even calling out the agency and saying it should be terminated. In a post to Truth Social in just the last hour, in fact, the president wrote, quote, the Biden-run FEMA has been a disaster. FEMA should be terminated. It has been slow and totally ineffective. Individual states should handle storms as they come. Big savings, far more efficient. Aside from
boy. So we got to talk about another so-called far-right conspiracy theory that has turned out to be true. As I tell you guys all the time, the liberal media, what they call conspiracy theories, are just delayed facts, right? It's just things that are true that we will later find out, yes, they are in fact true, okay? And what they call facts are conspiracy theories, right? They are conspiracies from the Democratic Party. And this story right here about FEMA paying money, funneling money to house illegal immigrants turned out to be a so-called far-right conspiracy theory that is true, okay? Because thanks to Elon Musk and Doge, they discovered that FEMA funneled $59 million to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal immigrants. Now, the chief financial officer of FEMA, Miss Mary Codens, was fired because of this, along with 3 other employees. But the problem here is that FEMA is supposed to be used for disaster relief, but yet they're using the money, taxpayer dollars, millions of dollars, to house illegal immigrants in 5-star hotels. Now, this is an interesting story because the left, they have been raging against Elon Musk and Doge. However, Elon Musk and Doge, they're the reason why this was discovered, okay? This payment went out as recently as after President Trump issued direct orders to stop such payments, okay? So the chief financial officer, along with her goons, were basically defiant of President Trump and his orders, and now that is why they're being fired after this discovery. Now, what I find to be fascinating about all this is that while President Trump and Elon Musk are discovering more waste, fraud, and abuse within the government, this is certainly in the category of waste and abuse. You have Democrats who are desperately trying to save their dying party out here still protesting against Elon Musk and Doge.
Are you ready to push back against Elon Musk's unconstitutional unlawful? Are you ready to protect and respect the right to collectively bargain? What an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you. Let me first just thank President Kelly, so appreciative of his leadership and his partnership, his strength, and his resilience for such a time as this. After he finished his remarks, I was tempted to get up here and say, let the church say amen. Because he's brought a word on today. We are standing in solidarity with each and every one of you during this incredibly fragile time. I wanted to make sure I crossed the street to make it clear that the attack on you, the attack on the civil service is unacceptable, unconscionable, un-American, and we are going to stand with you until each and every one of those unlawful executive orders are fully and completely reversed, buried in the ground, never to rise again.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, in my first video today, if you guys haven't watched it, you should definitely check it out. I talked about how the leftists are upset with Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrat Party and their leadership. And in that video, I argue that the leftists are wrong in the sense that they feel like Democrats aren't fighting against Trump enough. And my argument is that, no. The problem with Democrats is that they're fighting against Trump too much. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about, right? Imagine discovering millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars coming from FEMA, which is supposed to be an organization for disaster relief for Americans. Okay, you have places like Maui, places like California, places like North Carolina, Florida, etc., that are still recovering from hurricanes, from natural disasters, but yet FEMA is funneling money to house illegal immigrants in New York City. $50+ million. And Democrats believe that the government shouldn't be held accountable, that the American people should know about this. This is not a winning argument, right? That will never, ever, ever be a winning argument. So, again, this is what I'm talking about, and we're seeing it play out right in front of our faces. This woman right here, the chief executive that got fired, she went out of her way to undermine the president. The president said, stop sending out these payments, and they did it anyways, right? They did it anyways. And this is why all of these individuals have to be fired. This is why these agencies need to be dismantled, because this story right here proves exactly what we've been talking about. This is a slush fund. These agencies are slush funds for a liberal agenda that don't feel like they should be held accountable by the people in charge, right? They went out of their way to say, no, we don't care what the president said. We're going to send the money anyways, because we believe that protecting illegal immigrants is more important than providing disaster relief to the American people. So this is why mass firings are happening. This is why you're getting rid of all the so-called civil servants, because they're not serving anybody except the liberal agenda, right? Damn sure not serving the American people. So that being said, let's learn a little bit more about what happened here with these firings.
Fox News Alert moments ago, we received this together. We received a statement from the DHS regarding the $59 million sent from FEMA to New York City migrants last week. Quote, 4 employees being fired today for circumventing leadership and unilaterally making the egregious payment for hotels for migrants in New York City. We have not announced it yet, so we have it first. There's going to be firings, the names are going to be out, and let's bring in New York Congressman Mike Lower.
Well, here's the thing. Not only should they be fired, but they should also be arrested and charged as well too, right? That's exactly what should happen. Okay. That's exactly what should happen.
Congressman, your thought about that move?
Well, it's long overdue, frankly. These funds have been misappropriated going back to the Biden administration. And New York City, a sanctuary city, has been wasting billions of dollars of taxpayer money, billions with a B, to provide free housing, clothing, food, education, and health care to illegal immigrants, including criminal aliens that are here illegally. And so, I applaud, frankly, DHS for taking action to stop these payments under President Trump's leadership, because we have incentivized cities like New York and states like New York, a sanctuary state, to allow this to continue, and it has to stop.
Look, it cost New York, and it's a little selfish of us, billions of dollars because the water was wide open for 4 years. And the mayor that spoke up got exiled in the Democratic Party Ironically, he's about to be, I guess, in a way, pardoned or protected by this president, who sees a lot of the targeting of Mayor Eric Adams as the same thing that happened to him.
No question. Eric Adams spoke out against what the Biden administration was doing. He said that the migrant crisis was, quote unquote, destroying New York City. Kathy Hochul authorized billions of dollars of state taxpayer money to pay for all these expenditures. Meanwhile, she's fleecing hardworking New Yorkers $2,500 just for the privilege of driving to work. It really just speaks volumes to how inept, incompetent, and corrupt New York has become under feckless leadership.
Right.
We have to stop this massive influx at the border, which is what President Trump is doing. But we have to stop incentivizing states and cities like New York by spending billions, and in this case from FEMA, $59 million to support their efforts to circumvent federal law. That's really what this boils down to. States like New York are circumventing federal law, allowing illegal immigrants to get benefits and access to taxpayer money.
All right, so let's...
Yeah, so again, imagine being a party that is standing against holding people accountable for misuse of taxpayer money. I don't understand how is it that these individuals in some of these high tax states, right? I can't live in a high tax state, right? I'm telling you, that's just something I'm just not going to do. I'm not going to live in one of these states where you pay an exorbitant amount of taxes just for them to use the money for stuff like this, right? I just can't imagine being a resident of a state like California or New York and then turn around and watching the politicians spend my taxpayer dollars on illegal immigrants. Now, keep in mind, all the spending from the government, all the stuff they're doing, it contributes to the increased cost of living. So it already costs a lot to live in these states. You got to pay all these taxes. You got to pay all this stuff. And then the money turns around and it's being wasted. It's going to fraud and abuse. Liberals are getting rich off taxpayer dime. You're subsidizing illegal immigrants committing crimes, feeding gang members, facilitating the trafficking of drugs. Human. But Democrats have decided, no, we're for all this stuff. We're totally fine with this stuff happening, right? We're against transparency. We're against Elon Musk. We hate Elon Musk, right? He's a robber baron. He's robbing the federal government, right? Which is total BS, okay? Total BS. And again, it's no wonder why President Trump's approval is rising while the Democrats' approval is falling. It's really that simple. This is not hard stuff. You don't want to be on the wrong side of issues like this, right? You really don't. But Democrats, apparently they do. But hey, at the very least, you do have some Democrats, like, for example, Eric Adams, who President Trump basically is saving from going to prison. Hey, he gets it. He understands that, hey, you know what? It's probably not good for me to be on the wrong side of this issue. Let me actually help the president. Let me work with the president to protect the American people, to help with the mass deportations, and to do what the American people voted for. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how the New York City mayor's race plays out. Okay, we're going to see if Eric Adams will be rewarded by helping President Trump, by working with President Trump. I'm not entirely sure, because I think some of these people in some of these blue states, they're just too far gone, right? They're too far gone. It should have never got to this point, right? They should have never voted people into office who are willing to do crazy stuff like this anyways. The fact that these people even got into office shows you that a lot of these places, they are way too far gone to be saved. I don't know, right? I'm just saying, like, that's kind of what it seems like. But we'll see, right? We will see what will happen coming up in this New York City mayor's race. But as far as this story is concerned, again, this is why what Elon Musk is doing is important. And this is what Democrats don't want people to know. They don't want you to know that your taxpayer dollars are going to fund illegal immigrants, right? Going to fund criminals and gangs. They don't want you to know that. And this is what they're freaking out about, right? And you know who actually is getting paid that $50-some million? The liberal nonprofits. They're liberal friends, okay? Those are the people that are getting paid. Those are the people that are getting rich. This is a scam on the American people. And that's what's being exposed by Elon Musk. And this is why they're raging against it. Has nothing to do with Elon Musk stealing government money or unelected bureaucrat, Elon Musk, tech overlord, running the government. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with when people find out what the federal government is spending the taxpayer dollars on, the Democrats and their liberal buddies getting rich off this stuff, they know that American people are not going to stand for it. That's what this is about, 100%. 100%. And stories like this are exactly what I'm talking about. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.